Hello, good morning, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on your places, your countries, whatever. Welcome to this day number 3. We are going to check two extra modules right now. Just let me share my window. Well, the window in which I have my Azure portal, my whiteboard to draw some things. Remember, yesterday I did this same thing, but with the two previous modules. Right now, we are going to see what is Cosmos DB. Cosmos DB, module number 4, and also what is infrastructure. Okay? Also known as the module for the VMs, the virtual machines, and the containers, and that's it. Okay, these are the two modules that we are going to see and learn today. Good. Now, guys, that's it. Remember, Aranza, my partner, will be answering your questions right here in the questions and answers section. You can ask whatever you need, links, questions, doubts, problems with your life, if you want. Let's start, guys, okay? That's it. I'm sorry. Share my slides. Good. Well, what is the agenda? We need to see the fundamentals. We need to see how can we create Cosmos DB accounts, how can we create these databases, and, well, some examples, okay? Let's go. What is Cosmos DB, guys? What is Cosmos database? I know that for the name, you may think, okay, this is a database. I mean, I can use it to store information. Yes, but no, guys, okay? Not exactly that. I mean, Cosmos DB is not a database. It is an account to create a database inside, okay? It is like an app service. You put your code inside, okay? Right here, we put databases inside. Just let me try to draw it. Right here, guys, we have, for instance, this account, this Cosmos DB account, okay? This is it. Inside, we can put our databases. For instance, students databases, students DB. Okay, this is an example of a database, okay? And where is it? I mean, in Azure, where is that service located? Well, guys, you just need to type in Cosmos. Now, automatically, well, you will have the answers, and it is this one, okay? Just, where is it? And where is it? Cosmos. Wait a minute, just let me type in the full name, because it looks like this is not working. It is here. Services, Azure Cosmos DB, okay? You see that Cosmos, the name Cosmos, well, if you know about astronomy, Cosmos is the universe, right? So why Cosmos right here? Well, guys, because you can create multiple kinds of databases: Postgres, Cassandra, Gremlin, etc. Okay, just let me show you how it looks this thing. Okay. Now, if you see this, you can see that it has global replication, consistency levels, low latency, and elasticity, okay? So, global replication, you can put your information in multiple locations around the world, your backup, your copies of your information, okay? This, I'll explain it in a minute. Low latency, it is really, really quick. I mean, it is one of the databases that has the best performance, okay? And you can get enough power to handle your weight, I mean your resources, okay? It doesn't matter how many gigabytes, terabytes of information, you can store it right here. So now, guys, let's create an example. Now, just pay attention, guys. When you are creating a Cosmos DB database, it may take up to 5 minutes to finish the creation, okay? So if I create it right now, as I will do at the beginning of the class, it may be ready maybe in 5-10 minutes, okay? So never mind, I mean, I can explain some slides while we wait. Can you see this? Can you see that it says what kind of Cosmos DB account you want to create. NoSQL, MongoDB, Cassandra, Postgres, Gremlin, or Table. Now, if you work with databases, you may know what these things are. They all, guys, are NoSQL, okay? This doesn't follow a schema. I mean, you don't have to provide an order for the registers. So the default option is this one, NoSQL. But if you work with, I don't know, MongoDB or Postgres, just create one of those instances, okay? And that's it. You will be importing your information from locally to the cloud. Right now, we are going to create the Cosmos DB for NoSQL, okay? That is the name that it receives. So create. Okay. Good, it is ready. Now, remember, we provide the subscription. Please show me the subscription. Right here, we change it. Then we choose the resource group that we are using, which is this one, and provide a name. A name could be my AC204 Cosmos DB Cloud Week. Is this correct? Yeah, it is correct. Then allocation, remember, I always use EastUS. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right here. Now, guys, this part, it says capacity mode, okay? Capacity mode. Provision throughput or serverless. What is the difference? The difference, guys, is that if I choose serverless, I cannot provide the power, the level of resources, the level of power for my database. I mean, if Azure detects that I need more power, that I need more capabilities to store more information, automatically it will give me that power, okay? So it may be a good option, yes. When we are learning, serverless maybe is the best option because we spend or we have a billing according to our needs. But for instance, if we are in production and we know that we have a lot of information, this can be dangerous because Azure will be giving you more power, more resources, and the billing cost may be I don't know, really high, okay? So if you want to say, no, I want to define my resources, well, my level of power in my DB account, this provision throughput is your option. Right here, you can implement the, I don't know, the different levels, okay? So for the practice, I think that serverless is enough, okay, guys? Then what? Remember, right here we have a global distribution. If you want automatically to implement availability zones, your backup information, okay? Networking, backup policy, backup, guys. What about the backup? It's a database. I mean, it's mandatory to have a backup capability, feature. I mean, you want to back up your information maybe every 240 minutes, okay? And you want to retain, you want to have a backup retention of 8 hours, or you say, no, I want 7 days, every 7 days, or well, every 30 days. As you wish, guys, you can implement it right here, okay? Right here, you can experiment your backup information. Then what? Review and create. And create. And that's it, guys. For now, we are going to leave it. It will take like 5 minutes. So let's continue. Okay, let's go. Now, what are the different elements? The different elements that we have in a database, in a database account from Cosmos DB. I mean, what is the hierarchy? Well, guys, it is really simple. Okay, the hierarchy is this one. Just let me open a link. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right here. Okay. Perfect. And open. Good. Can you see these, guys? It says, what is the first thing that you have when you work with this? The first thing is a database account. The thing that we are creating right now, okay? This is a database account. Now, what's next? The next level, the databases, guys. Right here, you can have multiple databases, okay? All of them belonging to the same NoSQL. I mean, if you create Postgres, all of them belonging to Postgres, and that's it. Then, inside the databases, we have the containers. Maybe you know this as tables, okay? It is the same, but right here, it has a different name. So these are the tables, but right now we are calling them containers, okay? And inside the containers, we have the items, the records, the registry, the information for each table, for each container. And that's it, guys. I'm pretty sure that you knew this. I mean, it is the level number one in databases, the structure that they follow. Maybe the only difference is that right here, they receive a different names, okay? So database accounts, databases, containers, and items. And in the same level that we have the items, we have the store procedures, the triggers, the procedures, and all these things that make, I don't know, a database work perfectly, okay? Now, of course, that depending on the kind of account that we create, for instance, well, this may receive a different name, collection, table, graph, but they are the same, just the tables, okay, guys? And that's it. This, guys, this link is part of the official documentation. Okay, don't think that I'm reading this from a strange page. I mean, this is the course, the official course from Microsoft. Okay, so you can just have it whenever you want. It is free and public. Good. This one, this same image. Now, guys, the consistency levels are really, really important when you work on production, when you work in production. I mean, what is this thing? Guys, a consistency level will specify the velocity or the speed or the time in which you are going to see the information that you have in your main server and when you will see the same information in your backup locations, okay? So, when I create this account, perfect. It says complete. Go to resource. You could see that my location was East US, right? So that is the main server, the server in which I will have the principal information, my original information, okay? But what happens? Let's assume that I have information about a bank, okay? Really, really important. So East US, East US. East US. I have two copies of this information. One in Canada and the other one in Europe. Europe. I mean, this is the number one, the main server. This is the number two, and this is the number three. I have 3 copies of the information. Now, do I want to see the information that is being stored right here? For instance, Jafet, my name. I'm a user of the bank. Jafet. When I want to see this record stored in these 2 servers, I mean, I want it at the same time, exactly at the same time. Okay, I can do it. So Jafet, and Jafet. Or I can say, no. I mean, I do not need it. It is not that important. So I don't care if I have a little delay, maybe in 2 minutes. 2 minutes later. Okay, 2 minutes later. Good. Now, what happens if I have now 10 registers, 10 records? For instance, Felipe, I'm going to name you guys the names that I remember from yesterday. Daval, I think. Who else? Just let me remember names. Aranza, etc. Aranza. Now, do I want to see these records in the same order, in the same way in which they were stored in the main server? I mean, first Felipe, Daval, and finally Aranza. Or I can say, no, not that important. I only care about they being stored, but not about they being stored in the same order. Okay, it's not the same, guys. So maybe right here I have first Aranza, then Felipe, and finally Daval. Okay, this is where consistency levels take place, guys. Okay, so just let me show you. Right here, we have 5 levels, guys. Strong, bounded staleness, session, consistent prefix, and eventual. This strong is the best one because you have your information in all your servers at the same time and in the same order, okay? And this one, eventually, it is the weaker. I mean, you will have your information, but not in the same order and with latency. Good. And Microsoft has a beautiful GIF explaining how it works. Can you see it? This is a strong. Strong. This is your main server, and you can see the information is being stored in all the locations in all the copies at the same time and also in the same order. Can you see the colors? Red, blue, purple, black, and green. I don't know. I hope that I can see the colors well. Well, that's it. This is a strong, perfectly, no? We have then bounded staleness, the second level. And what is it? Bounded, guys, can you see that may have a small latency? A small latency when displaying the information in the different locations. Can you see it? These are in the same West US too, but this one is in East US and Australia East. So it is different. It has latency. Then we have session level number 3. What does it do? This will show you the information at the same time and in the same order only if you are using the same session, okay? The same session. What is a session? You know that in programming we use SDKs, a session for accounts when speaking about users. Well, this is an example. When they are using the same account, the same session, you will have the same order and the same time, okay? Consistent prefix, level number 4. You will have it in the same order, yeah, in the same order, yes, but with latency. I mean, some seconds, some minutes later. And finally, eventual. Can you see it? The original, and eventually you will see it. Maybe right now, maybe in a minute, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 10 years. Well, not 10 years, guys, that's impossible. I'm just trying to explain how it works in different order and in different time, okay? This is the cheaper, yes, this is the cheaper, but well, just consider that you will have a delay when displaying the information. Now, if you want to choose what is the level of consistency that you need to implement, it is right here, guys. In your resource that is created, you will download this menu. Remember, guys, yesterday some of you were having some issues during the lab because you had well, you were not able to see this menu. That happens when your Zoom is really huge. I mean, right here, if I increase this maybe to 100%, this will disappear suddenly. I mean, maybe can you see it? It disappeared. If you do not see that menu, you just need to reduce the zoom, okay? To maybe 110%, 80%, I don't know, depending on the size of your screen. And you will see the menu. That is the solution, okay? Just let me improve it a little bit. That's it. Now, right here in settings, you have that it says default consistency. So let's click it. Right here, we will have the information. Session is the one by default, okay? Session. Always that you create a database, it will have session, but you can change it. If you want bounded staleness, you just select it and then save. If you want eventual, you just select it and then save. If you want, I don't know, whatever you need, just select it and then save. Can you see it? Maximum lag time. And right here you can, well, it has 5 seconds, but I mean you can change it whatever you need. And right here, you have the locations in which it will be stored. Okay, can you see it? For instance, I can put this one, selected, and then save, because I want copies on these parts. So I will say discard, because I don't want bounded stateliness. Maybe consistent. I will change it to consistent. Okay, and then save. Updating the default consistency level. And well, this will take, I don't know, maybe 1 minute. What else, guys? What else we have here? Well, just let's continue with the presentation. Remember, questions or something, ask in the chat. Well, in the question and answer section. Okay. Now, guys, this is the explanation that I just gave you, but I want to explain it again because I already did with some GIFs, okay? Okay, now, how Cosmos DB works. How Cosmos DB understands what it can do and what it cannot do. Well, it works, guys, with request units. What is a request unit? I'm pretty sure that in your companies, guys, I mean, you are not working for free, unless that you are maybe still students. Well, right here in Mexico, we have something that is called residents. You are a resident when you finish college, university, and you go to have some professional experience. It happened to me. I mean, no one pays absolutely nothing. We don't have a payment. We don't have money. We receive a scholarship, but it is really, it works for nothing. I mean, it is like $100 each month, and doesn't work. Well, when we finish this part, we work for money, right? I mean, we are receiving a payment, and according to that payment, we work more or less, or I don't know, depending on if we are receiving a good salary or not. Well, guys, Cosmos DB does exactly the same. It works for request units. Depending on the number of request units on the payment, it will have more or less power. Okay, that is the rule. For instance, can you see this? It says, if you want to read 1 kilobyte of information, it will spend 1 request unit, like $1, okay? $1, but in here it is a request unit. If you want to read, I don't know, 2 gigabytes of information, that will spend, I don't know, 50 request units. Depending on the size of your workload, you will have more request units being spent, okay? And that's it. This is the coin that Cosmos DB uses, okay? So if you are wondering, okay, how can I know this? I mean, you said previously that if we choose serverless account, we cannot specify the size. I mean, we cannot specify the power. And exactly, guys, you cannot specify the power when you are using serverless, only if you choose provision throughput, okay? But we have a calculator. Just let me show you the calculator of request units. Calculator, Cosmos DB calculator. Right here. Perfect. And actually, I'm going to create the second Cosmos DB one in provision throughput, okay? So that you can see how it looks when you need to select the power. So Cosmos DB, again, this one, right? This one. Good, create. The name, well, I will put provision so that I can recognize them. Right here, maybe I should have selected serverless as the name of the account. Mistake. Never mind, I can put a provision in this one to recognize it. Okay, we select the API, guys. These are APIs of different databases. Okay, just wait a minute, guys. I'm here still. Don't believe that this is frozen. Okay, yeah, perfect. We select subscription. We select the resource group, this one, and the name. Right here it will be Cosmos DB provision throughput, Cloud Week. Good. Is US 2. Is US, perfect. Now, guys, remember, we choose provision throughput. This time, serverless won't be the option. Okay? And right here we have two things. You want to apply free discount? No. You want to limit the total account throughput? No. I want all the power that I can implement, okay? So create. Create. And let's leave it, okay, for a minute. Now, let's go back to the calculator. This is the calculator of request units, guys, because you need to know how much will be how many dollars you will be spending when you create your databases, right? So if you say, okay, what is your API? The API that you are going to use. Okay, maybe Cosmos DB, and we are using this one, so it's okay. Then number of regions. In how many regions you have your information? Let's assume that in my examples I have 6 regions. 6 regions. Now, are these regions only for lecture, or you are going to write too? Write. So, write, enabled. Now, what is the total workload, the total data stored in a transactional store? Maybe 10 gigabytes, 40 gigabytes, 90 gigabytes. Okay? Now, what is the size of each item? Items, guys, each record. Let's assume that we have 60 kilobytes. And well, that's it. So calculate. We press calculate. And right here, we will have an estimated of the cost. As you can see, $3,000 each month. I don't know, depending on the size of your company, it may be too much or really, really cheap. For me, it is really expensive. I wouldn't be able to pay this, but okay. The good news that it is just an example. It won't be. I won't be spending this. Okay. So this is the calculator, guys. You can use it if you want. Now, is it ready yet? No. It is still being created. Okay. Okay. Right here, I can see that it says deployment succeeded. So I'm pretty sure that it should be ready now. Just let me see if I have something. Good. Go to resource. Then I have my provision. Guys, this is the provision and this is the serverless. I will create a database in both of them so that you can see what is the difference, okay? Now, when you select provision throughput, guys, you will also see this section, okay? Replicate data globally. In the serverless, you will see that it is not there. I cannot see it because it is not available using serverless. It is only available using provision throughput. I will open it so that you can see how you can choose your regions and if you want it to be write or only lecture. Good. Now, guys, can you see that it is a map of the world? Right here. It says, click on a location to add or remove your regions. If I click maybe this one, West US 3, I click also, I don't know, this one, North Europe. I click maybe this one, South Africa. Can you see that it is being added right here in this list? Okay. And it says multi-region rights. I mean, do you want them to be also to store information? Yes. Then what? Nothing, guys. That's it. I mean, you just need to say save. And in this way, you will have your information in these locations, okay? It is secure because you have the backup. If something happens to the original server, well, there is no problem because you will have your secondary, third, fourth, and fifth servers. Now let's wait for this to to finish the store the changes, storing the changes, and let's continue. Okay, we come back to the slides and continue. Let's do a small example, guys, the one that I just commented you. Is this ready? No, it is not ready, but we can start with the serverless. Now, guys, what is the place in which you will create your databases? This one, it says Data Explorer. Data Explorer is the place or the menu that you need to click, okay? So click. Now, when you click it, you will see a pane to create the databases, the containers, the tables, and the items, the records, okay? Welcome to Cosmos DB, connecting. Welcome, what is Cosmos DB? I mean, you can see the tutorials, the recommendations, the things that, this platform is displaying, or you can just close it. I will close it, and that's it, guys. Launch quick start, you will see a small tutorial about how it works, how can you connect it, and whatever. So guys, right here in this corner, you can see that it says new container. You will click it, and you will say new database, okay? So new database. Right here we have the database that we need to use. What is the name of that database? I don't know, maybe we are creating a database about animals. Wait, animals. Then what? Then okay, create. Okay, good. Right now, right here I have my animals database. I will do the same, but in the provision throughput. So what is it? Data Explorer. Okay, Data Explorer. Just let's give it a second, guys, okay? And this should work. Perfect. Yeah, I don't have interest in doing that. New database. New database. Can you see that the menu is different, guys? I mean, in serverless, we only were able to provide the name. But right here, I have a database throughput, auto scale, and a number of request units. So database, the same name, animals. But now it says how many request units you want for your database. I mean, I have now 4,000. I can increase it. Yes, I can maybe add some zeros, and you can see that the cost is increasing. As I will only display some examples, I will leave it with 4,000. Okay. So, okay. Now, if you wonder, how do I know how many request units I need? Well, guys, you need to choose serverless first, and then execute your commands, execute your queries, execute your searches, and you will see how many request units you are using. So first, the recommended option is serverless. And when you learn how many request units you are needing each month, well, you can create provision throughput, okay? That is a good way to know it. Perfect, well, this is being created. I will come back. and create a container. So new container in the serverless database, guys. It says database ID. It is the name, guys. If you choose use existing, you will see that you have the animals. I mean this one that is here. What is the name of the container of the table? Maybe, I mean, it is a database about animals. Maybe C. C animals. C animals. Good. Now, partition key. What is the partition key, guys? The partition key is maybe the most important part in Cosmos. Okay? Each database, for instance, we have the database animals, right? Animals. And we have the data, the table C. I mean, aquatic animals. Partition key could be types of animals that live in the sea. Okay? Maybe we have what is the name of these animals that they breathe air? Like us, mammals? Yeah, mammals, right? Like whales. Whales need to go up out of the sea to breathe, right? So that could be an example of partition key because it will split your information to have a better administration. All animals that breathe air, so air, will come to one physical separation in the server, okay? And the animals that breathe or that take the oxygen from the sea, I don't know, maybe, what is the name of these animals? Fishes. Let's assume that fishes, okay? I am not an expert in animals, guys. If you know the answer, please let me know in the questions. Fishes. So what could be an example of the animals that need to go out of the sea? Whales and also dolphins, right? Dolphins. But right here in fishes, we could have, I don't know, maybe sharks. Sharks, and what else? I don't know, maybe squid, maybe octopus, I don't know. I'm trying to guess, guys, so do not laugh at me if I'm making a mistake, please. This could be a partition key, okay? To split your information. I mean, partition key could be kind of animals. So we will have kind of animal as the partition key. And in the records, we will put air or fishes. Let's do that. Partition key, kind of animal. Good. And that's it. Just okay. Good. It is being created and we will have the answer right here. Can you see it? Now I have a container. Right here, I can go to items and see the records. I mean, it will be empty. Can you see it? It has nothing. But I will be able to provide my first record. So we click new item. Okay, give me a second. And that's it. I have my first item. Can you see that this is a JSON? It's a JSON because this is NoSQL, guys. That is how NoSQL databases work, with JSONs. So right here, I can provide my first information. I don't know, name. Name, whale. Whale. Well, then I need to provide the partition key. Remember, the partition key that I selected was kind. Kind. It is right here. I don't remember the name. Kind of animals, this one, okay? This is the partition key. So I will just copy and paste the name. I can type it in, kind of animals. Then right here I will say, this is an air animal. What else? I don't know, size. Size, and it could be blue whales, maybe 30 meters. 30 meters. And then save. Well, this ID, of course, needs to be replaced. I will say 1. Save. And it is right here. I have my first record in the table, in the container. I can create more, yes, of course. I will copy this format so that I can omit it. New item. I replace the value. I delete the things that I do not need. Perfect. ID number 2. Name dolphin. Then it is an earth too, I think. And the size, I don't know the size of the dolphins. Maybe, I don't know, like 3 meters? 3 meters is okay? Or 1 or 2 meters? Well, 2 meters, let's assume. Okay, and then save. Good. And finally, let's provide something back for another partition key. Okay, so this will be number 3. It will be a shark, and these the kind of animals, fish. Well, I'm pretty sure that that's not correct, but let's assume that it is a fish. And the size, white sharks, maybe 7 meters, I don't know, and then save. Good. I have now my first 3 registers. How can I know how many request units I'm spending? Okay, guys. Well, you just need to open right here. You will see that it says new SQL query. Okay, that is the option. So let's click it. We will have a section in which we can provide our queries to so that we can, I don't know, start working with the database. This select all from C. C, guys, is the letter that Azure Cosmos DB recognized as the container that you are using, okay? So this already works. I mean, you just need to say execute selection. Wait a minute, I have an error. It says, okay, when you have errors, guys, I mean, you can click more details, and down, you will see that you have the logs, okay? The logs of the problem. And it says severity, location, syntax error, next to M. M, next near M, activity, successfully created item, etc. Okay, just let me do it again. Please, edit filter. Okay, just let me change this because that ID is not correct. I have an ID with 1, yes. Okay, yeah, this is working. So, wait a minute. Select all items. Query. And execute again. Can you see it, guys? Now it is working. And to know how many request units we are spending, you just need to come here. Query statistics. So you click it, and you will see that it says request charge. You go right, well, you go to the right, and to display all the information that you have in this container, you are using almost 3 request units. Well, not almost, almost 2 request units, 2 and 29. So when you have your statistics of the whole month, well, you will have an approximate of the size that you need, of the power that you need for your database. And you can come to the provision throughput to create it with exactly the number of request units that you will need, okay? And that's it. I mean, first the serverless, you learn how to do it, you learn how much you need, and then you come and create a provision throughput, because that won't be spending more than the money that you have, okay? And that's it, guys. I mean, the process will be the same right here. You just choose a container, you choose your existing database, you provide the animal, etc. Kind of animal. I won't do it, guys. I won't do the practice again. Kind of animals, and that's it. Okay, you can continue. And that's it, guys. Okay, remember, questions, just let us know. Let's go back to the presentation. Good. This was the practice. It was the create Cosmos DB resources. I don't know, using a container, add information, etc. Now, if you wonder how you can do this using the programming code, I mean, that is the lab. I mean, you will be working using code in a programming language. I think that it is .NET. You will be creating an application, and that's it, okay? Guys, I explained you what is a physical, a partition key, right? Well, partition keys are part of the logical partitions. I mean, your databases, your accounts in Cosmos DB have two kinds of partitions. Logical partitions specified by the partition key, the one that we already explained. Remember, kind of animals, air or fish, okay? Partition key. Where is my cursor? Okay, it's here. Partition key. And that splits the information in different locations in the server for a better administration and better performance. Now, physical partitions. We have also a physical partition, guys, but this is not that important because you cannot do absolutely nothing. I mean, Azure does this work, okay? According to the partition key that you provide, Azure or the brain of Azure will put the information in different physical partitions in the server. But remember, you cannot work on this. I mean, you do not specify absolutely nothing. So just learn to choose the correct partition key, okay? And that's it. And with that, you will have a good performance. As this, according to the partition key ID, it is splitting the information. Now, you see, ID, is ID a good partition key? I mean, what if we have a billion records? We will have a billion IDs. So we will have a billion logical partitions, like this one. Yes, that is the answer. So in these cases, when you have a lot of information, millions and millions, choosing the ID is not correct, guys. You will have a lot of workload, and it will have latency. You can choose the ID, yeah, but only when you have few records, okay? If you have few records, ID is a correct option. Maybe the students in a classroom, students in a classroom. I mean, how many students can you have? 40, 50, 100, 200? That is a few amount of students. So yeah, ID is correct. But if you are going to have a lot of users, well, maybe you want to create a better partition key. For instance, a mix of the ID plus the name or plus the region. Well, no, I'm sorry, ID no. The name, the region, the country in which they live, country, I don't know, the city, and all the people that lives in Dubai, all the people that lives in Qatar, that lives in Berlin, that lives in Brasilia, they will come to the same logical partition, okay, guys? Or partition key, well, synthetic partition key. What is this synthetic partition key? Synthetic is when you put together two of your records, two of your information, of your fields in your containers. For instance, you have a JSON, you have the information that has ID, that has name, that has age, that has city, that has country, and that has continent. So a synthetic key could be a mix of age and country. So you will see something like 15 Mexico, like 16 Mexico, like 22 USA, something like that, guys, okay? And that's it. Now, guys, I think that we finished with this explanation. We finished with this first module, which is Cosmos DB. I mean, we're about to start with the break, 10 minutes, as we normally do. Then we will come to the next module, okay? So if you have questions, well, please, I don't know, just ask us right here in the question and answers. We can provide links, etc. Right now, well, we finished, guys. It was a tool to try to teach you something about Cosmos. We haven't finished, guys. We have another hour, but for infrastructure, okay? So I will share my timer, guys, so that you can take the first, well, the only break that we have. So where is my timer? Right here. Okay. Can we migrate an existing database to Azure? Says Joy. Of course, we can migrate, Joy. We have tools to migrate. Depending on the database that you want to migrate, is a tool that you should use. So if you want, please let us know what kind of database you want to migrate, and we can help you. Okay. For now, just let me share the break. This one, guys. See you in 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, good. Well, guys, we're back now. Let's continue with the second explanation. Okay, well, the second module of the day, which is actually the module number 5, infrastructure as a service solutions. Okay, remember problems with the audio? Let us know. Problems with your internet? Well, if it is your internet, try to, I don't know, connect to a new network, connect to, well, refresh the page or something like that. Okay. Now, let's start. What is the agenda? The agenda for this module, guys, is what are virtual machines, resource manager templates, container images, and inside container registries and inside container instances. Okay, so we'll check as much as we can about this. Provision virtual machines. What is a virtual machine? A virtual machine, guys, is the place that you remember where you are working on the labs. That is a virtual machine. I mean, you are connected to a virtual machine that has a subscription, that has all the resources that you need, that has absolutely everything to work on the labs. Now, to create a virtual machine, you should consider several things. The first one is the availability. Then, availability, the size, the limits, the image, and the disks. Okay? Now, how can we do this? Well, in Azure, we just need to come here and look for something that is called VMs. VM. It is here, what is it? Right here, virtual machines, okay? Okay, give me a second, guys. Good. As you can see, well, I have I don't have any machines. I need to create one. So I will say create, and it says, what do you want to create? A virtual machine, a machine with preset configuration, a VMware solution. I mean, you have multiple options, guys, okay? The first one is the one that we need. Azure Virtual Machine. Okay. Again, selected. Okay, this is just loading. Just let's give it a second for this to open the pane. Okay, right here I can see the 4 or 5 dots indicating that it is loading. Okay. Okay, good. Now, perfect. It is open. Now what? Now, the same things that we need, guys. I mean, we need the name, we need the subscription, but virtual machines, they have a lot of configuration extra that you need to select. Okay, it is not that easy as the rest of the resources. I mean, you need to provide more things. For instance, subscription. This is not complicated. The only subscription that you have in the lab is the one that you will choose. Resource group, not complicated. I mean, you can create a new one or choose one that you have. Now, the name, guys. What is the rule to choose a good name for resources? I mean, you have been saying me that that as name, I choose Cloud Week, the name of the resource and the name of the course. Well, in production or in as a good standard, guys, for the names, depending on the things that the services do, that is the name that you need to provide. Okay, for instance, is this a machine for production? Well, prod. Prod is a good start for the name. Now, you have multiple instances of the virtual machine. I mean, you have 4 instances. Instance number 2. What else? The region, East US. Now the name of the application, I don't know, my app. And I don't know if you have more information that you need to apply, for instance, the name of a department, like legal. This is a good name, good standards to follow when you are working on a company, guys. I mean, you do not, bad practice is just give it my machine 1, my machine 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because the next person that comes to see your name, they won't understand what is it. I mean, you need to provide good names, okay? For the course, well, my name that I'm choosing, I think it is a good good selection. AC, Cloud Week, and my VM. Perfect. Then what? Well, my Windows VM. My Windows VM. Region is just availability options. Remember, one of the things that we need to think about is availability. What is availability? The time that every month, your machines will be available. For instance, in November, we are in November. How many days November has? 30? 30 days. How many hours these days have? 30 for 24 is, guys, help me. It is the 720. I don't know, 720 hours, okay? Let's assume. Hours. Now, from this total amount of hours, how many hours will my machine be available? Maybe 700. And the other 20 will be updating, will be patching errors, will be fixing something, okay? Maybe 600, maybe 7 and 15. Depending on the hours that you need, is the availability that you will choose, okay? That is the availability. So maybe for this could be 99.9% of the time available, okay? Maybe 97, something like that. And that is selected right here. Availability options. What do you want? Availability zones, virtual machine scale sets, or availability sets. These two guys are copies of your information, are more instances. And this one is having your, different machines in different locations, okay? That is the only difference. I won't choose it, guys. I won't choose availability because it will take more time, even more time to create. So I don't have the time. We have only 1 hour. Well, right now we have only 40 minutes. So let's continue. Image. What is the image? The image, guys, is the operating system, okay? See all images. We have hundreds and hundreds of operating systems, even free as Linux or with a license as Windows, okay? Just let's wait for this to open. Good. And we have the marketplace. Okay, just let's wait a second. Cool. Can you see it? We have Windows Server, Windows 10, Windows 11, Ubuntu, Windows 7, Ubuntu Server, Kali Linux, Red Hat, Visual, Debian, CentOS. I don't know, the operating system that you can imagine, it will be here, okay? Now, even, and one thing that I do is that my machine wasn't compatible or wasn't available to install Windows 11. So what I did is to create a machine with Windows 11. And in this way, I knew how it looks and how it looks like, how it is, etc. So yeah, you can actually just create one to test the new operating system. Then you can know if you want to install it in your real computers, okay? In your real computers, in your companies. This is an advice for the IT team, okay? When we select it, we just need to say, select, and you can see you will have multiple options. For instance, this one. This will come back to the pane of creation so that we can continue, I don't know, with the rest of the processes. Can you see it? This is an estimated of the price. And it says, please give me a username, Azure user, and a password with numbers, letters, and uppercase and lowercase. It could be ABCD 1 2 3 4 5 6, a special symbol, and 12. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a special symbol, and 12. Good. Now, what ports will be opened? RDP, SSH, HTTPS, or HTTP. You can open them all if you want, or you can close them, okay, guys? RDP is the one that we use to connect to the virtual machine, so maybe it should be open. Now, can you see? You will see some advices when you open something that may be risky or not. Then you can provide a license if you want or not. You have more tabs like this. Okay, you want your operating system to be SSD or HDD, kind of slower. For me, KDD. No, for me, SDD. Because no, well, standard SSD. Good. Then what? Well, we can continue going to the networking to implement a net, a virtual net, going to monitoring to implement virtual logs to see if something is going well or not, or just create. I will create it right now, guys. I mean, I won't modify absolutely nothing else. Okay, good. Come on, come on. What's happening? Just create it, please. Okay, looks like my, I don't know, it is even slower than the previous days. Okay, okay, good to know that it is failing. When something fails, guys, you will see something like this. Validation has failed. Then you will see a symbol indicating where is the place that you missed something or that you put something that was not correct. So I can come back and see what is going on. I think that, okay, confirm. Right, or I can change. Okay, I think it is Windows Pro that is the problem, guys. I mean, looks like I need a specific license that I don't have, so I will choose Windows Server. Maybe it doesn't ask for it. Okay, private license, save vibe. Okay, just let me try again. Review and create. And if not, well, I can confirm. Good, it passed. Then create. Okay, yeah, guys, the problem was that I selected Windows Pro, and looks like that requires a license. Good, well, as we wait, let's just continue explaining some things with theory. Now, well, this is the different options that we have for availability. Now, when you choose an availability, you will receive something in the data centers. I mean, this is not for you. This is located in the data centers of Microsoft. The first one, fault domain. What is a fault domain? A fault domain is your resources, your physical resources that share a common power source. So you may think, it's a good idea to have, for instance, 3 VMs, 3 of my instances sharing the same power, the power energy. No, it is not a good idea. Why? Because what happens if that power fails? All your instances will fail. That's why Microsoft separates your instances to different fault domains. I mean, this has an electric power and this has another source of power. In this way, if one fails, well, you have the other ones, okay? And also something that is called update domain. Of course, they won't update all the machines at the same time. I mean, you can have your fault domains. All these rack of servers, rack of VMs will be updated at the same time. So you will be split, or you will split your instances of virtual machines in different fault domains so that the update process could be in different moments. Now, when talking about the size, guys, you will have from 8 gigabytes of RAM, 2 gigabytes of RAM, up to 600 gigabytes, a terabyte of gigabytes in RAM. But that is for really, really heavy workloads, okay? Not for all the machines. And of course, it has more price. I mean, if I open this, I can see that the deployment is complete. I can go to the resource. And right here, I can see in the settings section that it says size, okay, size. So if I click it, I will move to the next, well, I can update, I will be able to update the size to a larger or a smaller one. Right here, can you see it? Most used by Azure users. Of course, the most used are the cheapest one. I mean, 3 gigabytes, 8 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes, something that we have in our normal computers. But you have also the ones that are, I don't know, high throughput. If I expand this, can you see it? I'm sorry. 100 gigabytes, etc. Premium storage. This is here to store your database information, etc. I won't change it, guys, because well, I don't have the money in my subscription to go for a better one. But I will go to overview. In overview, we have the command or the menu that says connect. If you click it, you will see something that says RDP, SSH, or Bastion. Bastion and SSH, guys, are secure connections. Well, RDP is also a secure connection, but RDP is with graphical user interface, okay? So let's choose it. Let's connect to the machine. RDP, I click it. This will open a file to download. A file to download so that I can click it and connect directly to the machine. Looks like it is having a latency, so I will do it manually. Connect in the settings menu, RDP, and then download. Can you see it? Download RDP file. This is the IP of the machine, this one that you can see here. Okay, can you see it? One file was downloaded right here in my browser, so I will click it. Click. It is here. It says connect, and it will ask for the credentials. This one. Type in your credentials. I will say more options, another account, and the Azure, the username and the password that I specified when creating the machine, okay? If I'm not wrong, I use Azure user and A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Accept. If it is not correct, guys, well, I won't be able to connect. Maybe I should have, no, it is not correct, guys. Can you see it? Azure user, just let me try again. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Accept. Yes. It says connecting. Good. I'm connected. So it is right here, guys. Minimize this one. Hey, where is it? What happened? It was closed. What happened? What happened? I think that I clicked closed instead of minimize. So just let me do it again, guys. Connect. And then another account. Azure user, and my password, ABCD 1 2 3 4 5 6 12. Accept. Yes, connect. It says connecting, perfect. Now, that's it. This one, guys, can you see it? It is the name of my machine, and it says now we are connecting. Right here, you will be able to, I don't know, do whatever you want, put your production systems, put your company's applications, so that everyone can connect to it, depending on the standard that you follow. But now you have a machine for your work, okay? Networks, no. And close. I won't do absolutely nothing. The remote session will be disconnected, yes. Good. We finished with the first practice. Now what? Now, guys, well, as you know, well, we have the small practice. We already did it. So it says, what is a resource manager template? Next lesson. You know, guys, when we are creating something, we use the Azure portal, but we also can use the terminal. I mean, I can open Visual Studio and create something from there. Does this have advantages? Yes. In terminal, when using the terminal, it is faster. I mean, you can create your things faster, but it is more complicated because you need to know the commands. Okay, so it has a pro and a contra, cons and pros, okay? Now, just let me create a new folder. File, new folder, open folder. And let's explain what a template of Azure Resource Manager is. It is like a file, guys, a JSON file in which you can provide all your infrastructure. I mean, you can say, I want 2 virtual machines, 2 databases, 2 app services, 2 Kubernetes clusters, 2 storage accounts, 2 DevOps, whatever you want it. And then instead of creating each resource once after the other one, what you do is execute the file, run file, and all your resources will be created at the same time, okay? So that's why it is really quick. So new. Folder, ARM templates, and select. Now, guys, for this, you also need to install some extensions, okay? It is not that you will be able to do it when you have only Visual Studio Code. I will show you what is the extension that you need right now. Okay, I go to extensions. I expand the extensions section, and the one that you need is one that is called Azure Resource Manager Templates Tools, okay? Just, where is it? Remember, guys, your questions, just let us know. And after this section, we will have a, well, in 1 hour, we will have the labs module so that you can work. Just let me find the extension that you need. What is it? This one, guys. Azure Resource Manager ARM Tools. That is the one that you need, okay? This one. So I can close it. I don't need it. I'll go to the file, and I can create one file, my Azure deploy.json. Okay, enter. That is the default name, guys. The Azure deploy.json is the name that normally you will see in all the documentation because it indicates absolutely everything. Deploy something to Azure. Good name. Right here, when you have the extension, you just need to type in ARM and wait for the suggestions, okay? ARM and wait for the suggestions. Now, it takes time to load, guys. That's why you can see that it says no suggestions. Let me save the changes. ARM suggestions, no problem. We can wait for this to load. Right now, what can I do is just continue explaining the theory and before and when, and then we can come to the practice. Right here, guys, all your instructions will go through Azure Resource Manager. So you have the portal or the terminals, and these terminals are the templates, okay? Now, what is the advantage of using a template instead of creating everything manually or creating everything step by step? Well, the advantage, guys, is that, well, the speed and the simplicity. I mean, you only need to create it once, and then you have to do nothing. I mean, you create it once, and then you can reuse it multiple times, okay? And it is a JSON. It looks like this. It has different elements. One of them is the section resources. In the resources section, you will see that right now we are creating a storage account and all the information as a JSON file, okay? Now just let me see if now this is working. Loading. Finally says something different than no suggestions. This one, guys, ARM and the exclamation sign, okay? So I'll choose it. Can you see it? It has different sections, and one of them is the resources. Right here, we will provide, or we will type in the practice so that we can deploy something to Azure, okay? But not now. First, let's finish explaining everything. Now, you can do, I don't know, you can imagine, okay, I need to use the same file to deploy my entire infrastructure. Yes, you can do it. I mean, you can do this. In one file, provide all your resources. A virtual machine, an app service, and a SQL DB, a simple production system. Or you can say, no, I want a better administration. So I need to have nested templates. And you will have a parent template that will be calling the soft templates. And each soft template will be having a different resource. In this way, well, of course, you will need, you will have a better administration. It is simpler to understand, but you will have more files. Now, there is something, guys. When you deploy that file, I mean, when we say terminal, new terminal, and run here, and right here we say run file with all the resources that we have. Why isn't it opening? Please open. Well, when we say run, right here, run file, we have two ways to do it, guys. Complete or incremental. What is the difference? The difference, guys, is that if you use complete, okay, or if you use incremental, can you see it? Okay, we have a resource group. This is the original resource group in which we want to deploy our resources, okay? It has 3 resources already, A, B, and C. Now, the template that we will create, I mean, this file, this file, okay? This contains references to resource A, resource B, and resource D. Resource D is not right here. It will be created. But resource C, that already is located in the resource group, and it is not indicated in the template, if you use incremental, nothing will happen. You will keep the resource number C. But if you do not specify it, it will be removed. C, removed. Okay, can you see it? The right here, it is not there. Removed. So please take care about the way in which you can, I don't know, in which you deploy it using incremental or complete, because you will have different results. And how you execute the files? I mean, I told you that it is with Azure run file. Well, no, it is with this command, guys. AC deployment group create morph complete. Then you pass the name of the execution, the resource group, and the name of the file. This is the way in which you deploy something. Okay. Let me see if now we can continue with the practice. It says still loading. Okay, right now this is not ready yet, but what can we do? We can explain where to get these files. I mean, if you do not know what the syntax of the file is, I mean, don't worry, guys, you don't have to type it in. Just a second, please. Okay, good. Now, guys, I received a phone call, but I won't answer. I'm having class, so I never answer phone calls when I'm in class. Now, guys, if you go to Azure and you go to resource groups, what will you able to do? We will be able to export all the Azure Resource Manager templates that Azure has, okay? For instance, where is the resource group that we are using? This one, okay? We will open it. Okay, it is still opening, I'm sorry. Looks like I haven't clicked it. My bad. I'm sorry. Now, guys, if you want to import one template, you just need to select the resource that you created manually right here in Azure Portal and say import file. And that's it. I mean, you don't have to type in the files. I mean, it is complicated, right? Can you see this? Now it says, for instance, what do I want to import? Well, to export. This function, I will click it, this checkbox. Then export template right here. And right here, we have the template to use, okay? We have the sections parameters, variables, resources. To export related resources, just select it and export. And that's it, guys. I mean, it is loading, but it will be here. And, well, you will see a message that says, a button that says export, okay? Just like it looks like my computer is kind of slow this day, or my internet, I don't know. It says generating template. Can you see it? And this is the simplest way to do it. Now, guys, let's continue with the knowledge. Now, containers, guys, okay? Containers. It is still loading, good. Do you know what a container is? A container, guys, is it is a way or something. Can you see it? This is the template that I was talking about. This has all the information so that you can use it. I mean, you can just say download, and you will have your JSON ready to be used, okay? Now, if you want to use containers, just let me open a link. Where is it? The link. Azure containers. Deploy containers. What is it? Okay, right now I don't have it. Never mind, guys. A container is a way to well, virtual machines emulate hardware, right? You choose your operating system, etc. That is hardware. But containers emulate software, only software, and you can have multiple containers in the same virtual machine, in the same computer, etc. Okay. So to work with containers, you use container instances. Container instances. Container instances, these guys, okay? Can you see that we have also container apps, container app environments, container registries? We have different tools to work with containers. Okay. Good, create. Container instances is the simplest way to execute a container, guys, because I mean, if you have your image ready, or maybe in Docker Hub, or maybe in Container Registry, which is the copy of Docker Hub, but in Microsoft, you can just import it, and that's it. You will be working with your image, okay? Just give me a second, please. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. So my cat just appeared and suddenly, I don't know, threw something out of my bed. Okay, well, guys, we select a subscription, we select a resource group, and we select a name. Okay, it could be maybe my first container instance, and then the region, availability zones. We can also create availability zones, guys, because we know that containers are also used in production. So I don't know, you can have your instances, okay? So image source, where is the image that you want to use? I mean, is it locally? Is it in other registry, which is Docker Hub? I mean, I'm pretty sure that you know Docker Hub. I mean, if I come here and I say Docker Hub, and open this Docker Hub, I'm pretty sure that you know it, guys. It is the most famous platform in the world to work with images. I mean, I know it. In Azure, we have something that is called Container Registry. So if I type in container, container, where is it? This one, Container Registries. Container copy, it is like a second option to Docker Hub. We know it is not that popular, but we are trying to make it popular. I mean, we are trying to teach you how to use it. You can do absolutely the same. You also meant so that you don't have to learn something new. So this Container Registry is the own Docker Hub, okay? This one. So for now, for the practice to display a image running, we will use quick start images. are working. Now, you can provide the size. I mean, you can say, no, I want more power in my container. Maybe I want 4 gigabytes, etc. Okay. Gigabytes, 3 gigabytes. No, not 31, 3 gigabytes. And then, okay. Okay, well, guys, we're about to finish the class. I mean, I just want you to show you how it runs. Well, how this image runs. And that's it. Create. Initializing deployment. And that's it. Now, guys, if you want to learn how to do this, besides the information, the certification 104, 100 number less than 200, 104 is the one that teaches you how to use Kubernetes, how to use containers, etc. Okay. This one only shows you what are the services that you can implement when you already have the images created. It says deployment in progress. Okay. Meanwhile, guys, please ask your questions in the chat while we wait for this to be ready. It says, okay, I can see a question about the labs. How long will we have access to the labs? This week and 30 days, guys, okay? From where can I download documents, slides that you are presenting? No. I'm sorry, Jajant, we cannot provide the slides because they are not ours, they are from Microsoft, so it is impossible to find a place to download the slides, okay? I mean, you could if you are a Microsoft certified trainer, but if you are not, well, you don't have access, okay? And we as trainers, we cannot provide the presentations. Those are forbidden, but remember that we provided the official course that has all these things, okay? That has the information. I mean, you can just come here and download it. This one. This is the files that you need. Okay, looks like this is taking some time. Refresh. Well, guys, we finished. I just wanted to show you this execution. Remember, if you have questions, just let us know so that we can try to answer these last minutes, okay? If you need a link, also, please tell us. which labs are required for today? Today, guys, we are going to do the mandatorily. You need to finish lab number this one, number 5, and optionally lab number 4. Some of you yesterday finished both labs. Excellent job, guys. I could see that you are really into this topic. So, well, mandatory lab number 5 and optionally lab number 4. We are here, guys, so if you want to finish both and you have problems, well, that's why we are staying and 2 hours and a half so that you can finish both, okay? But yes. Okay, refresh. Okay. Well, guys, looks like this is not going to be ready. I don't know what is going on. I mean, normally it takes like 1 minute to be to be completed. Now it takes like it has been like this for the last 10 minutes. So well, well, guys, as I was commenting, you guys, this is it. We finished with the class. I mean, it was only of 1 hour of the 4 hours that this module should last. I mean, I'll be here, and when this is ready, I'll show it. I will show the results. But well, if you want, I mean, you can just leave. And see you in 40 minutes. Okay, you're in 40 minutes in the lab session. Okay. Well, we finished today, so it was nice to be with you in this class number 3. So see you guys, okay? Remember, I won't stop my sharing until this is ready. But I will mute myself.